Greetings. Today might be a snow day, but it is also a feast in the church. It is the presentation of our Lord Jesus Christ in the temple. This feast commemorates the event in Jesus' early life when at 40 days, Mary and Joseph brought him to the temple to complete his induction into Judaism and to perform the ritual purification of Mary that was expected of her by the law. After 40 days of childbirth. There are a number of really interesting details about the story that is told of this event that we hear about in the Gospel of Luke. We have Simeon, the priest, who gives us the Song of Simeon, which is now a canticle that we use in our prayer book tradition. Like the Holy Name Day, gives us a view into Christ's life as a human and life as a Jewish man in first century Palestine. But there's one detail that I'd like to focus on in this story for this short reflection that is actually presented better than I ever could by Howard Thurman in his book, Jesus and the Disinherited. And he points out an interesting detail in this story, which is that Mary and Joseph, as part of this ritual, brought animals to sacrifice, as was done in that time, but they brought two young pigeons, two turtle doves, which is not the first choice for sacrifice as listed in Leviticus. So I just want to read a little bit of his text to sort of delve into this more. He says, when we examine the regulations in Leviticus, it is an interesting fact is revealed that a lamb is the first choice for the sacrifice for a son. And that Leviticus says that if she is not able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring two turtles or two young pigeons, the one for a burnt offering and the other for a sin offering. Why is this important? Well, Thurman goes on to say that it is clear from the text in Luke that the mother of Jesus was one whose means were not sufficient for a lamb, and who was compelled, therefore, to use doves for this ritual. And this is important, he goes on to say, because the economic predicament with which Jesus was identified in birth placed him initially with the great masses of men on earth, which is to say, the masses of the people who are poor. If we dare take the position that in Jesus there was at work some radical destiny, Thurman says, it would be safe to say that in his poverty, he was more truly a son of man than he would have been if the incident of family or birth had made him a rich son of Israel. Words of wisdom to contemplate on this feast from the great Howard Thurman, and to contemplate as we consider who Jesus might identify with the most in our times today, those who are physically poor as well as the poor in spirit. A blessed Candlemas to you, a blessed Feast of the Presentation, and may we remember and follow our Lord, who is fully human and fully divine.